Hi Aries, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. If you all haven't been to my channel before, welcome. This is where we talk about astrology and we also pull some tarot cards to sense what the energies are around this lunation cycle. So we're actually talking about the full moon in Sagittarius that occurs on June 14th, 2022 at 7:51 Eastern Standard at 23 degrees and 25 minutes. So the moon is sitting in Sag and across the sky sits Gemini, the sun. So it's interesting to see this dynamic because remember the sun in Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius, those nodes were where we were working with in earlier parts of 2021 and 2020. So if you were having any kind of important themes around that time, those themes could come up around this full moon in Sagittarius. But also remember at this time, we do have Mercury at 0 degrees of Gemini. So you might have some type of themes around communication that may come in at this time as well, Aries. Now, Aries, one thing I want to also point out is you all do have Jupiter and Mars in your sign at this full moon in Sagittarius. So be aware of if there are any lower vibrational energies around, you being more confrontational, or if you're feeling like you're attracting themes of people wanting to get into a conflict with you, or you're like trying to start anything, just keep that in mind because those themes are strong at this time. But the higher vibrational side of Jupiter and Mars in Aries is like you might feel like you have more action-oriented feeling, like you might want to go after something. You might be trying to go after a new job. New prospects might be in your life. So just keep that in mind at this full moon in Sag. Okay, Aries, so we're going to pull a past, present, and future spread. Also, if you haven't liked or subscribed or commented, I would love if you would to Scorpio Soul Time. Give me a thumbs up if you would. It really helps my channel grow. All right, Aries, let's see what we have for you. So in the past, you have the King of Swords in the upright position. In the present, you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And in the future, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So Aries, I think it's interesting that you have the King of Swords in the past and then you have the Eight of Swords in the future. And I say that because it's almost as if there's some type of important information that's been trying to get to you. There's some kind of clarity, some kind of decision that you needed to make in the past, but I almost feel like it's going to rear its head again in the future with this Eight of Swords, but thankfully this is in reverse. So it's almost like maybe this comes around, whatever this decision was, it comes around again in the future. But with those butterflies, my eyes really went to those butterflies. So it's almost like there's some kind of transformative message that you needed or you received in the past that's going to help you in the future when you have to possibly make an important decision that you're not quite sure where to go. But Aries, I do like seeing this Ace of Wands, even though it's in reverse. What I like to see is like the Wands is you all's fire energy. Same with Sagittarius, right? So the full moon is in Sagittarius at this time. So there is some kind of fiery energy similar to what I was talking about with Jupiter and Mars and Aries at this time. You all have some type of fiery energy with that Ace of Wands. Like there's some kind of blessing coming to you. It might not be as easily recognizable when it comes in, since this is in reverse and you have that Eight of Swords. I almost feel like it's not as clear as you realize, or maybe it's not as clearly coming in, but it's almost like once you receive that message, you're gonna be like, oh, that's what, you know, that's the energy I was supposed to have understood. And it almost feels like when you go into the future, you're going to look back at this time and realize, oh, that person coming into my life who gave me that important, you know, contact information at such and such company for me to contact, even though I didn't understand why I needed to reach out to them now. You know, now I'm realizing, you know, that's an important contact for me possibly to move to a different position, or possibly this is some kind of like get up and go, like, okay, remember you wanted to start that health routine, you weren't feeling it, you know, 2-3 months ago, and now it feels like, okay, Aries, let's get up and do this, right? So I do think that, Aries, this is an interesting time for you all with this fire energy, because it feels like at this full moon in Sagittarius, there's going to be some type of information that comes to you that says, use what you know, that clarity that you had in the past to like work through this Eight of Swords. I think it's also interesting that once we have that Sagittarian energy come through around travel, around foreign people, foreign cultures. This could be a time that you're like wanting to learn something new. Like maybe this Ace of Wands also is like you taking on a new career, you trying to get some information on how to travel abroad. There's some kind of really nice energy with that Ace of Wands. It just might not look the way you expect it. Okay, Aries, I look forward to hearing how this full moon in Sagittarius goes for you all. Make sure you take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs also, just to get a more holistic view, as well as those June 2022 readings. Okay, Aries, I'll talk to you all later, and I hope you all have a great full moon in Sag.